Hello, everyone. Welcome to our another episode of 360 Degree Podcast. I am Shahnaz, the founder of the Creative 360. Today, we're going to talk about the industry expert who is living and breathing digital marketing from 1997 in UAE, who knows in and out of digital marketing to the core. And even when we didn't even had email, that from that time he is doing digital marketing and one of our highest community builder and then a digital marketing expert by himself. Today we're gonna talk about a lot of insights, expertise, and he's gonna share us his whole life experience and how he built this strong community in UAE. Let's welcome today Mr. Kishore Dharmarajan. So let's start simple. So people who don't know about you, so I just want to know what you do and what's your journey in UAE.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. So my name is Kishore Dharmarajan, and I run an agency called SEO Soup, which is based in Abu Dhabi, 2454. And I've been in the region for a long time. I was working in the advertising industry with Saatchi, I was with HSBC, and in a variety of roles. And finally started SEO Soup in 2016. So it's been an interesting journey moving from advertising to the digital space.
You have written two books, which is Sniper Marketing and EightStorm. So, what things inspired you to write books? Because it's 2025, like these skills are disappearing over there around us. So, what inspired you to write these books?
So, as you rightly have identified, writing is a skill which is looking like it's going away, but it's reincarnating in different formats. So, if you look at movies, for example, people will sit for 3 hours in a movie theater and watch a movie very interestingly without realizing that someone has sat down
Sure.
and has spent a couple of years to write the script for that movie. So someone has put in a lot of effort into writing. So writing has taking on different avatars and coming back in different formats. So you can sit down and write an article and post it on LinkedIn and you can get a client in 24 hours. So this is exactly what happened to me. So one of the reasons I started SEO Souk was that I was working with an agency before that as a general manager in Media City. And I wrote an article on LinkedIn and that agency got a client in 24 hours. So I kind of realized that I can keep writing articles and keep getting clients. So why do I need to work for an agency? I can go and start one of my own and keep writing articles.
Okay.
So that was the insight I had. And coming back to the book, definitely wanted to share my thoughts with the outside world, and that's how I wrote EightStorm and Sniper Marketing. Took me 2 years to write EightStorm because you didn't have ChatGPT or you didn't have any editing
Truly.
software
Yeah, I agree on that.
those days. So it was very difficult to write a book and edit and rewrite and do a grammar check and all of that. But the good thing that happened is when I printed these books, I was going for meetings and I was giving these books
Okay.
instead of visiting cards. So it became a kind of unforgettable visiting card where people used to, when second time I'm going for a meeting, they have the book in the shelf. And at the same time, if you give away a visiting card, no matter how, even if it is made of gold, unless it is made of gold, people will throw it away. So a book is something which people cherish and they keep it. So a book is a kind of visiting card which people cannot forget.
So that's a very good one. So writing a book needs a lot of patience. I guess you have a lot of patience towards by your nature. So that's why you are capable of writing a book. And there is a unique selling point that you are instead of giving a visiting card, you are giving a book because visiting cards when we pass by, it's everybody does the same thing and we miss out easily a lot of things. But when you hand over a book to someone when you meet, that's an unforgettable moment. That's
Yeah.
very excellent. Thank you. And this is the most important question I wanted to ask you personally, which is the community which you have built, which is called Digital Marketing in Dubai, which is a very familiar group in UAE. So, what helped you, and what thoughts hindered you to like start this group?
Actually, I started the group in 2018, and primarily my intention was to share the articles which I was writing in LinkedIn with a small community. So I invited my friend Ritesh, who's in the retail sector, to that group, and we were only two members in that group. And we kept sharing the articles. And one day, when we looked at the stats, we saw that 10,000 people had joined the group. So I was wondering how come from where these 10,000 people came, and I didn't know
Okay.
how it had taken a life of its own. Now we are attracting 1,000 members every week,
Mm.
and it's grown to 170,000 members, probably reached 200,000 members in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So the whole the reason why the group has grown
Mm.
is that it is strictly moderated. So no one can post spam in the group.
Mm.
They post spam, there is no warning. They are immediately removed.
Okay.
So that kind of creates a very healthy, clean group where people can enjoy the content. There is no spam. People are not frustrated with a lot of unwanted material. So that cleanliness of the group is what is attracting people. So we would rather have a slow moving group rather than a fast moving group with a lot of trash and spam.
Yeah.
So that is the intention that we have had, and it's kind of taking off a life of its own. A lot of people are getting jobs, a lot of people are getting businesses
Mm.
because of the group, and we are happily standing by, not taking advantage of the group. As a business owner, I don't take advantage of the group. So when someone will post a requirement for video editing, for graphic design, for SEO, I can easily take that job and not approve the post.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. I just approve everything which is genuine or which looks genuine, and then let the community take advantage of the group.
Truly. Because I am a member of your community from when it was like around 5,000, 10,000 members. I have seen the growth of the your community, and I have been posting constantly because we are all into same industry. So I have never seen that you have restricted my post or something. So how this process you are handling it? So as you say, like it's 1,70,000 people are there, and daily tons of requests and posting things and all will be coming up. So how you are managing it?
That's a brilliant question. So AI is managing the group. So Facebook has got an AI tool behind the scenes called Admin Assist.
Mm.
And once that is activated, it knows with its algorithm what is spam and what is not a spam.
Okay.
Plus, we have given it a lot of criteria to identify based on keywords. So, for example, someone is posting about, let's say, dollars or money,
Mm.
or someone is trying to, create issues. So all of those terms have been packed into the system. So it knows
Okay.
that this is a spam. Someone is trying to promote a Telegram group.
Hmm.
Someone is trying to post a link. All of that is automatically removed. So AI is doing the heavy lifting. 90% of the group is being moderated by the AI admin assist created by
Okay.
admin, and 10% is done by us. So it is not a lot of heavy work for us, thankfully.
That's good. So I just want to know, as a member of your community, I want to know something like any story which you have gone through this when you started this community to till date. Would have come up with many stories you have seen, someone getting a job or someone getting a project or something. So can you share me something like which has inspired you and you thought like, okay, I did it something really good by building this.
Yeah, sure. So there are a lot of stories which I've had from the group. One interesting one I remember is meeting a person in a mall, and she was telling me how she had struggled with starting an agency,
Hmm.
and she was trying to get clients, and she got a couple of clients
Okay.
from the group. And
Okay.
then I met the client themselves
Okay.
in another situation, and
Okay.
they were telling me that how the group had brought this particular lady's company to them.
Hmm.
So I could see from different angles that people are finding agencies and agencies are finding clients. So I'm hearing stories from both sides,
Okay.
how they're all collaborating and coming together. Probably many of them, I think 90 or 80% don't share their victories in the group.
Hmm.
But when they meet me personally, they're happy to share those ideas and stories. And people who have tried LinkedIn for getting jobs
Hmm.
and failed. 6 months they were trying on LinkedIn, and
Okay.
he was doing lives in the group and he picked up a job. So I'm happy to hear of these stories where people are getting jobs
Okay.
which they couldn't find on LinkedIn because LinkedIn was very competitive
Yeah,
for jobs.
truly. Yeah.
So they just went on the group and they shared their strengths and they were able to pick up a job. So many such stories.
That's very good. So, as a member by myself, I have attended many sessions with you, and you have been always speaking about metaverse marketing. So, can you share some insights like how it gonna impact for us in the marketing in future?
So Metaverse is one of those areas
Hmm.
which has not really taken off like generative AI.
Mm.
And that is simply because everyone has access to ChatGPT and many other platforms, Gemini or Claude or Perplexity, and we can all experiment and see the outcome. So it's instantly visible. And that is the reason why generative AI has taken off in a big way, whereas the metaverse has not really taken off to that extent. But strangely, people who are using metaverse are actually making a lot of income out of the metaverse. So recently, I came across a company in Dubai who's building games in the metaverse, like Roblox and Fortnite, mini games where they are giving away money to the people who are playing, and the money is in the form of crypto. And that company has made several millions in income through these games, whereas the rest of the world has not given a lot of thought to the metaverse. There is around 500 million people using the metaverse on a daily basis, and these are the younger people who are upwardly mobile, who can easily become your brand enthusiastic about your brand. But at the same time, brands are not really taking advantage of that. So it's a very big blue ocean which is left to be tapped. And one of the reasons, as I said, is because it's not visible. So it looks complicated. You need 3D software, you need all these technical things to make it work. So people have not really taken advantage of that. Only the big companies have done that. Microsoft and so forth have taken advantage. But for the average person, it is hidden, and it's a big opportunity that anyone can take advantage of.
And now let's jump for rapid fire round, where I will be asking you questions and you have to answer me in one word and in a faster pace. So, one book you love
Siddhartha
and one tool which you use daily.
has to be perplexity,
Okay. What's your marketing style?
being genuine.
So, AI or human creativity, which one you will pick?
Human creativity, of course.
And what is your one sole thing which helps you to like regain after a long day?
That would be watching news, addicted to news.
Okay. So the next segment which we're gonna look for is pass the mic, which is about, we have come up with a section which is the previous guest have passed a question to the next guest, which is you, and he have asked a question and we are looking for an answer here. So which is, as a business we always see uncertainty and things and all. So how you see this hardship and how you overcome this?
That's a very important question, and this is something which every company will face, regardless of its size or the journey which is in. And the best way to overcome that is to have constant visibility in the marketplace, knowing who your actual customer is, and being in front of them, regardless of what is going around. So probably you have a boom happening, or you have a economic downturn. No matter that, you need to be constantly visible in the marketplace, and probably running ads could be a great way to do that, because the ads, they keep running no matter what happens. On organic, of course, you need to take the time and effort to do it, but constantly running ads, being visible, and targeting your audience, and having a steady stream of leads or business inquiries, keeping your sales funnel full, I guess, is how you can overcome the problems created by the environment, and having a steady business in unsteady times.
So what is the one question you want to ask our next guest?
Yeah, so I'll make it interesting for the next guest by asking them, how do you handle instant success? So instant success comes with a lot of issues, particularly psychological. When people come across instant financial success or instant fame, they run into a lot of issues. So how would you solve that if you are that person who has that instant success?
That's a great question, I guess. So this is one more personal question I have from my end to you, which is something like, you are into digital marketing and you are playing this game for long time, right? And how you are evolving to the adapting to the trend, because it's every day it's coming up something new. It's AI. It's a lot of things happening in and around. How you are staying in the trend? What are your daily activities? How you are maintaining that? Okay, I'm in trend. I'm in trend.
So one thing I've noticed is that we feel that AI is making a lot of changes and we have to be on the cutting edge. But at the same time, the market is not on the cutting edge. The market is not moving very fast. So the average person is like 2 years behind or 3 years behind. So there is no urgency to keep up with everything which is happening in AI as much as we think. So that's a kind of artificial pressure that we have put upon ourselves to keep ourselves abreast with the latest changes in AI. Rather, the market is very, very far away from all of this. They are consumed by their own problems on a daily basis. So, someone who's running e-commerce store, they are worried about the tariffs, they are worried about logistics, they are worried about the GPS and things like that. So, it's not something which we think that they get up in the morning, they're thinking about digital marketing. Their digital marketing is not something which is on their minds. It's the last thing on their mind. So they are worried about their own problems, collections, what happens if my something happens, if there is a fungus in my skincare product, how am I going to solve that? Will the authorities catch me for that? How when do I have to pay the VAT? So I have 1,000 things going on. So AI is not something which is on their mind. This is a pressure that we have put on ourselves, thinking that we have to be abreast of everything which is happening in town, and no one can actually keep up. Even the people who are creating these things, they are only aware of what they are doing. They're not aware of what the other company is doing. So everyone is in a kind of stage where there is so much happening that no one can actually catch up. So that is the good news. At the same time, you do have to be on the cutting edge also, or you might get phased out. So it's a balanced approach.
Yeah, that's good. And being myself a graphic designer, these days one question is being hindering me, which is something like I've been reading a lot of articles in LinkedIn, where in different industry people finding that AI can possibly replace humans as it have started generating designs and with perfection what they are expecting. Although it's not like that, but still some of the images they are able to create it in such way and things and all. We are into this kind of discussion these days around the world. We are seeing it in the news and things and all. So as a community expert by yourself, having a lot of experience in this, so what do you think about this conversation, this debate?
So that's a very interesting question. And as I said, you are getting that kind of feed because you are a graphic designer and you're listening to what the industry chatter is. But at the same time, when you sit with a client and have a discussion, you will find that they have a lot of real life problems going on from their brand perspective. And the graphic design is just one element of the puzzle. So just AI solving that small puzzle will not solve their entire problem.
Okay.
Like rightly said by the chip maker, NVIDIA's chip maker,
Yeah.
and they were at the cutting edge of all of this. And he said the one thing that AI cannot do is that it cannot do everything. So there are going to be a lot of gaps which AI cannot fill. So how is the manager going to get all of his requirements from AI?
Yeah.
And you can imagine on a daily basis what all challenges they face. So this is where the human being, the human agency will be able to fulfill if they are smart enough to understand what challenges are they going and go into lateral solutions which AI cannot do. Probably it might do in future, but of course coming up with a lateral solution, implementing that, and then giving the ego feedback to the customer and keeping them happy, and the customer keeping their management happy.
Wow.
So a lot of emotional hand holding, all this is happening, which AI will not be able to do for probably a long time. And even if it does, it will do it in bits and pieces. So that in its entirety, it will not be able to create that kind of solutions. So I think these kind of challenges that we are facing are because we are pigeonholed in what we are seeing. We have to look at the entire picture, the holistic view of what is happening, and then we try to solve that. So graphic design becomes a small element of that puzzle.
That's truly agreed. I truly agree with that. One advice you want to give the new entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so a lot of people are moving from their 9 to 5 and starting businesses, and because startup culture is there and it is seen as something which is very interesting and very trendy. whereas in the past it was seen as very risky. But now it looks like the excitement of startups have overtaken the risk of all of this. But at the same time, the risk is very high. 90% of startups don't see their first birthday, meaning only 10% cut that birthday cake. And you can imagine the frustration, the financial challenges, the emotional challenges of the 90% of people who collapsed in the first 12 months. One of the reasons why they have doing that is they don't have an accurate way to create sales. Probably they think that if we hire a sales team, the sales team is going to go out and get all sales that they require. That is not the reality. The person has to, the entrepreneur has to be the chief rainmaker. They will have to go out and they'll have to get the sales. Now in today's world, you don't have to do it physically. You can do it through social media, through ads. You can do it in a variety of ways, posting on LinkedIn, etc. But they will have to get it done. And this is one thing that they'll not be able to delegate or outsource to anyone. And that relationships they build with that customer is their main asset, which is not transferable. So understanding that this is a non-negotiable part of entrepreneurship is very, very important. And if you can't do that, if you can't go into an office and get someone to give you business, probably it might not be a good idea to start a business.
Since you conduct a lot of meetups and sessions from digital marketing in Dubai group, so when is the next meeting we can expect?
Yeah, so the Digital Marketing Dubai group on Facebook announces a meetups every month, and we have weekly meetups online.
Okay.
The next monthly meetup is happening on April 30th,
Okay.
and it's happening in the academic city. Details are in our group. So if you visit Digital Marketing Dubai on Facebook, you'll be able to get all the details.
Okay. So I'm sure it will be helpful for many people to connect with a lot of industry experts, I guess. That's nice. So, Kishore, it was very nice talking to you and having this conversation today. I got personally a lot of insights from you, as I have always admired you from the journey you have had, doing this group and things and all, and being in the same industry. I've always admired you. So, I'm so glad that I got this opportunity to talk to you today.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I'm wishing everyone a great future in the podcasting industry and in the digital marketing industry. Thank you.
This is 360-degree Talks, real stories, real people doing real things. Let me catch you on our next podcast.